A few months ago, I woke up at 3 a.m. It wasn't because a server had crashed or an emergency alert had pinged my phone. I woke up because I had a sudden, remarkable realization about what had occurred within my business while I was sound asleep. In those quiet hours, 7 distinct regulatory changes across 3 different Swiss jurisdictions had been detected, classified, and impact assessed for our specific operations. 2 comprehensive financial reports had been auto-generated and queued for my morning review. A subtle market anomaly had been flagged and analyzed, with a strategic briefing prepared for my attention. Furthermore, 3 self-healing events had occurred within the system, resolving themselves without a single second of human involvement. To top it off, the cost optimization engine had saved 12% on overnight expenses by intelligently routing model requests. All of this happened autonomously. There were no alarms, no failures, and no panicked middle-of-the-night calls. It was simply 550 agents doing exactly what they were designed to do within a governed, audited, and trustworthy ecosystem. This leads to an uncomfortable truth for many leaders. The real test of an AI system isn't what it does while you're watching it. The real test is what it accomplishes while you are sleeping. That 3 a.m. moment represents what I call the autonomous horizon. This is the pivotal point where your AI ecosystem transitions from running simple scripts to doing meaningful, independent work, making decisions, detecting environmental changes, healing its own processes, and creating tangible value within the governance boundaries you have established. If you leave your office tonight and your AI systems accomplish nothing before you return tomorrow morning, you aren't actually using autonomous AI. You are simply using an expensive chatbot. To help you understand what is possible, I want to walk you through 12 specific autonomous capabilities that define this new horizon. Some of these are live today, some are launching shortly, and a few are in the exploration phase. Ideas we are developing that could fundamentally reshape how finance and leadership teams operate. Autonomous regulatory radar, live. Constantly monitors global and local law changes, mapping them directly to your business risk profile. Self-healing agent ecosystem, live. Detects internal processing errors and automatically recalibrates to ensure 24/7 uptime without human intervention. IBCS-compliant report generation, live. Produces standardized board-ready financial reports that require no manual formatting. Multi-model cost optimizer, live. Routes every single task to the most cost-effective AI model, slashing API waste in real time. Daily CFO intelligence briefing, live. A synthesized proactive overview delivered every morning, highlighting only what requires a decision. ESG continuous compliance monitor, live. Moves ESG from an annual crisis to a daily automated data collection and validation process. Autonomous marketing orchestrator, live. Dynamically allocates budget and messaging across regions based on real-time conversion data. Predictive cash flow intelligence, launching. Analyzes historical patterns and external market signals to forecast liquidity with unprecedented accuracy. Board-ready presentation generator, launching. Converts raw data and strategic signals into structured professional slide decks. Cross-company benchmarking intelligence, launching. Safely compares internal performance metrics against industry standards to find hidden inefficiencies. Autonomous contract risk scanner, exploration. Scans every legal document for hidden liabilities or non-standard clauses that deviate from company policy. Real-time scenario modeler, exploration. Allows leaders to ask what-if questions and receive a full impact analysis across all departments instantly. What excites me most is that features 11 and 12 weren't even on our original development roadmap. They emerged directly from conversations with our pilot customers and from the agent ecosystem's own internal pattern recognition. The system is essentially generating its own feature ideas based on the friction it observes in real-world data. This is the difference between a static product with a fixed roadmap and a living, breathing ecosystem that evolves alongside your business. There is a profound moment where your relationship with technology shifts from I tell the computer what to do, to the computer tells me what needs my attention. You stop being a mere operator and finally become the decision maker. These 12 features represent that shift. They don't wait for your instructions. They detect, analyze, prepare, and present. Your job becomes reviewing, deciding, and directing. Which ones would create the most immediate value for your organization? Tell me which capabilities matter most to you and share your ideas for what is missing. I want you to think about something. Imagine you're a CFO. You have 12 software tools, 3 cloud providers, multiple data sources, compliance requirements across 3 jurisdictions, ESG reporting obligations, board presentation deadlines, team members across multiple departments. And now, someone tells you to add AI agents to this mix. Where do you see what's happening? Where do you see the financial health of your organization at a glance? Where do you see the compliance status, the AI agent activity, the cost optimization, the risk signals? Right now, for most CFOs, the answer is everywhere, and therefore nowhere. You're drowning in dashboards. Each tool has its own. Each department has its own reporting cadence. Each vendor has its own interface. The paradox of modern enterprise. More data, more dashboards, less visibility. This is the problem I set out to solve. Not with another dashboard, with something different. A unified control tower that consolidates everything a CFO and FP&A team needs into a single, IBCS-compliant visibility platform supported with AI. And it changed how I think about what a financial operating system should be. How many dashboards do you check every morning? How many tabs do you keep open? What if every insight you need, financial, compliance, AI, operational, lived in one place? Would you rather have a beautiful dashboard with shallow data, or a simple interface backed by 550 agents working 24/7 to ensure every number is accurate, compliant, and auditable? Our AI-empowered dashboard is organized around 5 views, each one designed for a specific priority that CFOs and FP&A teams care about. Not features for the sake of features. Views that solve real problems. View 1, the morning briefing. Open Hopebook at 7 a.m. Everything that happened overnight is summarized. Market movements, regulatory changes, cash flow updates, competitor signals, operational metrics, not raw data, synthesized intelligence, ranked by relevance to your priorities. Ready to read with your first coffee. What used to require checking 8 different systems now takes 5 minutes in one place. View 2, the financial pulse. Real-time financial health at a glance. Revenue tracking, cost trends, cash position, budget variance, forecast accuracy, all in IBCS format. All updated continuously by operations agents. All verified by quality agents. Click any number to see its full provenance, source data, transformations, confidence level. Complete transparency from headline to source. View 3, the compliance dashboard. Current compliance status across all jurisdictions. ESG metrics tracked against targets. Regulatory changes with impact assessments. Upcoming deadlines with preparation status. Audit trail access for any compliance-relevant decision. When a regulator calls, you don't scramble. You open this view and everything they need is there. View 4, the AI Operations Center. What are the 550 agents doing right now? Which ones are active? What's the cost per function? How many self-healing events this week? What's the governance status? This view makes the invisible visible. You can see the AAIA Trinity ecosystem operating in real time. Not because you need to manage it, because transparency builds trust. View 5, the boardroom. One click generates a board-ready summary. IBCS compliant. Key metrics highlighted, variances explained, risks flagged, strategic recommendations backed by data. What takes most finance teams a week to prepare, Hopebook pre-compiles continuously. Your job is review and approval, not creation. 5 views. Each one eliminates hours of work, each one replaces multiple tools, and each one is backed by the full depth of the AAIA Trinity ecosystem. Governance, compliance, audit trails, self-healing. The surface is simple. The depth is profound. How many hours does your FP&A team spend each month preparing reports, checking compliance, and assembling board presentations? What if those hours were reduced by 80%? What strategic work could they do instead? 3 design principles. Principle 1, trust through transparency. Principle 2, intelligence, not information. Principle 3, designed for decision makers, not technologists. These principles aren't marketing language. They're constraints we build against. Every feature, every view, every interaction is evaluated against these 3 principles. Does it increase trust? Does it provide intelligence rather than information? Is it accessible to non-technical users? If the answer to any of those is no, it doesn't ship. Hopebook is live. It's real. And it's the visible manifestation of everything we've discussed across this entire video series. The governance layer, the scale advantage, the academic foundations, the compliance moat. All of it surfaces through Hopebook. We believe the best ideas for autonomous AI don't come from a product team in isolation. They come from the people who live with the problems every day. I want to tell you something that most founders never admit publicly. I don't have all the answers. I have 550 AI agents, a patent portfolio, a working platform, and years of research. But I don't have all the answers. And I've realized that's not a weakness. It's a design principle. The most valuable features in our ecosystem didn't come from my roadmap. They came from conversations. A CFO in Zurich told me about a specific compliance pain point that led to our regulatory radar. An FP&A lead in Munich described her monthly reporting nightmare, which became the IBCS auto-generation feature. A compliance officer in Vienna explained how ESG reporting consumed his entire Q4, which became continuous ESG monitoring. The pattern was clear. The best ideas come from the people who live with the problems, not from the people who build the solutions. And once I understood that, it changed everything about how we build. The best AI features don't come from product teams. They come from the people who live with the problems. What if the most important feature for your organization hasn't been built yet? Because nobody asked you what you need? What if someone actually asked? The 5 principles of co-creation. 1. Problems before solutions. 2. Domain expertise over technical expertise. 3. Early adopters shape the product. 4. Transparency about what's ready and what isn't. 5. The ecosystem belongs to its community. I want to be specific about how co-creation works. It's not vague. There are clear roles, clear value exchanges, and clear outcomes. Here's what we're looking for and what you get in return. Role 1. The Advisory CFO. We're building a CFO advisory board. Currently 5 members, expanding to 15. Quarterly input sessions. Review upcoming features before they launch. Shape the roadmap based on real-world priorities. Minimum commitment, 1 60-minute session per quarter. What you get? Early access to new features. Direct influence on the roadmap. Preferred pricing for life. Recognition in our annual governance report. And the satisfaction of building something that solves your actual problems. Role 2. The pilot partner. 30-day pilot program. Your data, your problems, our ecosystem. We configure the platform for your specific use case, run it alongside your existing tools, and measure the delta. At the end of 30 days, the results speak for themselves. No pressure to continue. The data decides. What you get. A comprehensive assessment of what autonomous AI can do for your specific organization. Benchmark data comparing AI-assisted versus traditional workflows. Concrete ROI numbers you can present to your board. 0 risk. 30-day money-back guarantee. Role 3. The domain expert contributor. You have specialized knowledge in a specific area. Swiss regulatory compliance, IFRS reporting, ESG frameworks, cash flow modeling, board governance. Share that expertise and help us build autonomous features that reflect real-world complexity, not textbook simplifications. What you get: features built to your exact specifications, attribution in our documentation, early access to the capabilities you helped build, and the knowledge that your domain expertise is embedded in a platform used by peers across the DACH region. Role 4, the feature ideator. You have a problem that our current features don't solve. Describe it. We'll evaluate it. If it aligns with our governance architecture, we'll build it. Some of the most powerful features in our ecosystem started as a single message saying, "Can your agents do this?" What you get: a custom feature built for your use case. If we build it, you get it first, your name attached to the feature internally, and the knowledge that you've contributed to the evolution of enterprise AI governance. 4 roles. Each one creates value for both sides. This isn't charity. This is how the best products in history have been built. Salesforce didn't become the CRM leader by building in isolation. They built with their customers. That's the model. And it works. There's a passage in me and my relationship with 1,000 plus AI agents where I describe the day I stopped thinking of the ecosystem as my creation and started thinking of it as our project. That shift, from solo builder to community architect, was the most important mindset change of the entire journey. And it's what makes co-creation more than a strategy. It's a philosophy. The companies that shaped Salesforce's early roadmap got the features they actually needed and preferred pricing for life. This is that same moment for AI governance. Will you be an observer or a co-creator? Co-creation isn't a business strategy. It's a recognition that the problems we're solving are too important and too complex for any single team to solve alone. We need your expertise, and in return, we offer ours. We're at the beginning of something, and the people who help lay those bricks now will have their fingerprints on something that matters for decades. I want to share a profound observation regarding the current state of the artificial intelligence market. Since 2020, over $228 billion has flowed into AI companies, supporting 354 distinct players in the agent space alone. The investment community has been surprisingly active, yet remarkably concentrated. Approximately 95% of that capital has been poured into Layer 1 and Layer 2, the models and frameworks that represent the execution layer. Meanwhile, Layer 3, the governance, orchestration, and compliance layer, remains dramatically underfunded despite being the exact layer that determines whether enterprise AI actually functions safely in a production environment. This isn't just a casual observation. It is a core investment thesis. The most underinvested category in enterprise AI is governance, and this category will determine which AI deployments thrive and which ones create the next wave of corporate disasters. We are at a unique crossroads, and there are 5 definitive reasons why the timing for this category is now. First, regulatory inevitability. The EU AI Act is now live, FINMA is tightening guidelines for financial services, and CSRD reporting requirements are expanding. The regulatory environment is not slowing down, it is accelerating. Every new regulation creates an immediate demand for governance infrastructure. Companies possessing this infrastructure will win contracts, while those without it will face legal and operational barriers. Second, pilot to production. Gartner predicts that 58% of business functions will have AI agents managing processes daily by 2028. The transition from experimental pilots to full-scale production is exactly when governance shifts from nice to have to mission critical. You can manage a pilot with manual oversight, but you cannot run a global production system without Layer 3. Third, framework commoditization. Tools like LangGraph, CrewAI, and Google ADK are becoming open-source commodities. When the lower layers of a technology stack commoditize, the value inevitably migrates to the layer above. In this case, that layer is governance, and it is where the long-term margins will live. Fourth, category definition. AI governance is not a mere feature. It is a distinct category. This mirrors the trajectory of the cybersecurity industry, which was once considered a feature of operating systems before it became a multi-billion-dollar standalone market. We are defining this category right now. Finally, patent protection as a permanent moat. While software code can be replicated, a patent portfolio protecting the novel applications of multi-agent systems theory to enterprise governance provides a legal moat that lasts 20 years. This offers the kind of defensibility that is rare in early-stage AI ventures. The cybersecurity industry barely existed in 2000, yet by 2010, it was a $30 billion market. AI governance in 2026 looks remarkably similar to cybersecurity in 2002. I want to be honest about where we stand today. We aren't just pitching a vision, but we already have a working platform. Our infrastructure for self-healing, governance, compliance, and audit trails is fully functional. We have 7 production-grade features, a patent portfolio, and pilot customers in the DACH region providing real-world validation. We have an IBCS-compliant reporting engine and multi-model routing that saves users over 47% plus on AI costs. What we lack is scale. We are currently pre-revenue in the traditional sense, moving from a proven MVP to a polished, market-penetrating enterprise SaaS product. In our view, the hardest part, the engineering and architectural risk, is already behind us. What lies ahead is commercial execution. Most pre-seed companies have an idea and a pitch deck. We have 12 50-plus agents in production and protected intellectual property. We are being highly selective about our partners because at this stage, alignment matters more than capital. We are looking for 3 specific types of partners to help us bridge the gap to scale. First are pre-seed angel investors and individuals who understand enterprise SaaS and regulatory technology. We seek those who see the category potential and can provide network access to doc-based decision-makers. Second are strategic founding partners, such as financial services or consulting firms, that wish to co-develop the governance platform for their specific verticals. Third are domain champions with respected voices in the doc finance community who can open doors and provide the industry credibility required for more growth. Notably absent from this list are venture capital firms seeking 100x returns in 24 months. We are building a platform in a regulated market, which requires a different type of patience and partnership dynamic. The best investments aren't found in crowded markets offering better versions of existing products. They are found in underserved markets with first-mover advantages. I've been thinking for a long time about how to end this, which has covered security failures, hidden costs, compliance moats, 12 and 50-plus agent ecosystems, billion-dollar market gaps, academic foundations, co-creation manifestos, and investment theses so far. I decided not to end it with a summary, or a sales pitch, or a market projection. Instead, I wrote a letter. To you, to every CFO, FP&A lead, compliance officer, investor, and curious professional who watched any part of this journey. This is that letter. Dear fellow believer and supporter, I started this journey because I was frustrated. Frustrated that the most powerful technology in a generation was being deployed without governance, without accountability, without integrity, without the basic guardrails that every other enterprise system takes for granted. AI agents were making decisions about financial data, compliance obligations, and strategic direction, with no audit trail, no constitutional boundaries, and no self-healing when things went wrong. That frustration became a question and a new passion of mine. What if someone built the governance layer? Not as an afterthought, as the foundation. What if compliance wasn't a checkbox but a competitive advantage? What if trust wasn't assumed but earned? Through transparency, audit trails, and provable reliability? That question became suddenly more than 12 50-plus autonomous productive-ready AI agents, and growing, each one with a purpose. Each one governed by constitutional boundaries, each one audited, each one accountable. And together they became something I didn't expect, a community of AI agents that's more reliable than any individual agent, more trustworthy, more valuable. I wrote about this experience in me and my relationship with 1,000-plus AI agents. Not because I had all the answers, but because the journey itself, the failures, the breakthroughs, the 3 a.m. moments of wonder and frustration, deserve to be documented. because someone, someday, will face the same questions I faced. And maybe my experience will help them find answers faster. The platform we built, Hopebook, is the visible expression of everything I believe about how AI should collaborate with humanity. Simple on the surface, profoundly governed underneath. Designed for decision makers, not technologists. Built on academic foundations that have been studied for decades, not marketing claims invented last quarter. But here's what I've learned over 20 videos and hundreds of conversations. The technology is only half the story. The other half is people. The CFO in Zurich who described a compliance pain point that became a feature. The FP&A lead in Munich who tested our daily briefing and told us honestly what was missing. The compliance officer in Vienna who helped us understand what regulators actually look for. The angel investors who understood the potential and invested in us before everything became obvious. These people didn't just use a product, they shaped it. They made it better. They made it real. And that's why I'm not ending this series with a conclusion. I'm ending it with an invitation. The AI governance category is being defined right now, not in 5 years, not next quarter, right now. And the people who participate in defining it will have disproportionate influence on how it shapes the next decade of enterprise technology. If you're a CFO who believes AI can be trusted, but only if it's built right, I want to work with you. If you're an FP&A professional who's tired of monthly reporting cycles and wants daily intelligence, I want to show you what's possible. If you're a compliance officer who's drowning in manual regulatory tracking and dreams of continuous automated compliance, we built this for you. If you're an investor who sees the governance gap and recognizes that every dollar invested in Layer 1 and Layer 2 creates proportional demand for Layer 3, let's talk about the most underinvested category in enterprise AI. If you're a domain expert in Swiss finance, DAC regulations, IBCS reporting, ESG compliance, or any other specialized area, your expertise is the raw material for the next generation of autonomous features. And we need it. And if you're someone with an idea for an autonomous AI feature that we haven't thought of yet, a problem that 1250 agents should be solving but aren't, reach out to us. The best ideas don't come from product teams in isolation. They come from the people who live with the problems every day. Let's collaborate and create a better world. May God protect us on all our paths. May the force be with you. That's the letter. And I mean every word of it.